welcome back to my channel. My name is Mandy and I am a full-time reseller. Today is my What Sold Wednesday video, so I will go over all of my sales for July 1st through the 7th. I did have sales on all 4 platforms this week, so that would be Depop, Mercari, Poshmark, and eBay. For Poshmark this week, it was a little bit slower. I was anticipating like a slower week just because 4th of July was right in the middle. I figured people were probably camping or up north or, doing something other than shopping online, on their phones. But I was pleasantly surprised with eBay. Last week was a little bit slower, but this week it picked up again. I think that's due to me really putting a lot more effort into eBay than I had been in the past. Mercari is still just kind of stayed in that same like 5 to 6 sales, and then Depop just 1. On Depop, I should have had another sale. Someone offered me $96 for a pair of boots, but once again, they never paid for it. And then one small issue over on Mercari, I sent out 2 vintage Fire King bowls. Those went out like June 22nd or something. The day they were supposed to be delivered, it said like it missed a scan pretty much is what happened. I checked with the buyer because it had been a couple days and the tracking said would be, attempted the next day or delivered the next day. So I asked, she said she didn't have it. I contacted the post office. They got back to me. They contacted her post office. Pretty much at this point saying that it's a lost package and, a claim would have to be filed. So I contacted Mercari and I just keep getting like the same automated messages that say you have to wait the 30 days, blah, 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 even though I uploaded photos of the conversation that I had with the post office of them saying like it's not going to get delivered, it is lost. So regardless, I guess that buyer has to wait a full 30 days to get reimbursed for, the package that she never got. So now we will start with my sales. I will start with Poshmark first. First up is the Get. I think I sold the other dress of this like 2 weeks ago. I don't know what this brand is. I'm assuming some sort of like cheaper boutique brand. I found them both at the bins. I thought the size was good. It was a 4X. Good print on them. Someone did offer me $13. My price point when it comes to bins items is I want to make at least $10. So that still fit within this price point. So I was fine with that offer. Next is a vintage Viking shirt, Minnesota Viking shirt. I picked this up at a garage sale a couple months ago for $2. I have a feeling within the next month, a lot of my football items will probably start moving just because we're going to, slowly start going into fall, and that is when football will be on. Next up is Wit and Wisdom. This is not one of my favorite brands to sell. I keep saying that, although it does seem to sell for me recently, which is strange. I don't normally pick it up on my own. These normally come in quick lot boxes. I think that's the only place that they've come, but I normally get quite a few. This was a bigger size, a size 14 black. They were skinny jeans, so kind of a hard sell, but I still did get $25 for these. This glamorized bra lot, I've talked about this before. I got quite a few of this brand bras at a like liquidation pallet type store. It was buy one, get one, and I think they were only like $1 a piece or something like that. I can't even remember at this point, but it has been paid for a while ago, so anything that I am making off the last, I think I only have one more set, is pure profit, and this was an offer of $25. During Halloween at Goodwill, I will pick up almost any one of these pumpkins that are older, probably from the 90s. You can tell by looking on the bottom of the pumpkin, there's normally a date, or you can pretty much date it by the cord. It's like an older looking cord. It's thinner, normally like a cream color. These normally go fairly well. I mean, this one is selling, in July for $25. I can normally get them anywhere between 2 to 5. This is just one of those items that I will never leave behind just because I love Halloween. I love vintage Halloween decor, and anything that I can save from going to the landfill, potentially I will when it comes to this category. This Death Wish, I believe it's a skateboarding brand shirt, came in that vintage, retro, whatever bale that was horrible. This did go for an offer of $20. This Coach wallet I got at the bins, probably paid, I don't know, $2 for it. There was quite a bit of wear and damage. I did make sure to, show all sides and all of the issues, and someone did pay full price for $30. These Old Navy shorts were pretty surprising to me. I picked these up at the bins, I think, I don't even know, last week. and they sold like within 2 days. They're just a printed, I think they're called the Pixie trouser shorts. These were a bigger size, a size 14, and like I said, these went in 2 days for $22. Another item that I will never pass up, and unless it's in horrible condition or it's overly priced, I do only pick these up when they are very cheap to me. Any type of horror tee, that is another thing that I really do enjoy, so that's something that I gravitate towards. This was a Scream Ghostface horror shirt. This one I'm pretty sure I picked up at the bin, so they're only like 8 ounces, so I'm probably paying like $1. It did go for an offer of $12. These Wrangler khakis I also picked up at the bins probably 3 weeks ago. They were new with tags at size 34, 32, so a good size. I don't know why everyone passed them up. I couldn't find any issues with them, but this did go for an offer of $26. With J. Jill, I'm pretty particular on what I am picking up. Normally it has to have, a couple things going for it. It can't just be like a plain blouse in a size small, because more than likely there's, hundreds of thousands of plain J. Jill blouses. So this one was a large petite, which sometimes petite can be hard move, but this did have embroidery and it was linen. So this did go for an offer of $20. This Rachel Zoe jacket I got at the bins probably 2 months ago. I do list everything year round just because I don't have a lot of space to store things for the winter, and it just works for me to just keep things moving. I believe this one went for my full asking price of $40. It is a wool blend, a really nice, like kind of chunkier looking jacket with the plaid. So I am looking at the listing here, and I did write large. I wrote boyfriend jacket large red multicolor in the title, but the tags do say small. It is listed as a small. It is in the description said small, so I don't know, that obviously is my bad. Hopefully whoever bought this jacket did truly need a small and not a large. I guess we will find out once they get it. So now on to Mercari. I have been kind of picking up some DVDs. I've watched a couple YouTubers, just to kind of get an idea of what is selling for more than, a couple dollars. I do look for kind of obscure things from Cartoon Network, like older cartoons that maybe you can't just find regularly online. I'm also looking for box sets. Obviously, if they're new, that is better. This was I'm not even really sure what it is. It's Chapsaki, maybe? Some sort of cartoon. And this one was new, and it did go for an offer of $15. DVDs at my store are like $1 to $2. Cut Loose is a bread and butter brand for me. I'm still kind of trying to figure out what sells better. I haven't quite put my finger on it because I've sold like skirts, I've sold dresses, I've sold shorts, I think. But the sizing really doesn't seem to matter. So I have some things that really kind of have been sitting, and then some that go really quickly. So I'm not exactly sure with that. This was a size large, a blue dress, and it was striped, and it did go for an offer of $24. These Cole Haan shoes I have had forever. I offered it off to all my likers for $18. Someone got back to me and said they needed to check their shoe size when they got home if I would extend the offer, and I was more than happy to do that, especially on Mercari since there are no fees, so I would get the full $18. I'm pretty sure I bought these at Goodwill for $1.99 when they were on clearance. Didn't really take in consideration that they were only a size 9, which is a little bit smaller when it comes to men's footwear. So going forward, would I buy these again in that size? Probably not. Next up is a BOLO brand. I found 3 pairs of these at Goodwill. They were all right next to each other. I believe it's Primo. They're golf joggers. Looking on eBay, the sell-through rate was great. So I definitely was like, I will pick these up for $6.99 a piece. I've had a lot of interest on the other 2. A lot of people are trying to bundle them and like buy 2 get 1 free, but I'm not gonna let them go that cheap because I'm seeing the prices that you can get on eBay. This one did go for an offer of $51 for the 1 pair, which is great. I get to keep the full amount, so I'm just waiting for those other 2 to sell. They're all in the same size, 34. This Adidas shirt I got at the Goodwill bins, when did I go? Probably 3 months ago or something along those lines. This was something that all the t-shirt bros passed up and, threw off to the side because it wasn't, what they were looking for. I picked it up. I thought it was pretty cool, knowing that I could send this to Plato's Closet if it, sat around for too long. But it did go for my full asking price of $25. Next up was this pink and white, like gingham plaid 2-piece set, a sports bra, and leggings. I picked this up at a little thrift store not too long ago. I think I did film that haul. I had like a big discount that I got to get on everything, so I think my cost of goods was only like maybe around $2 on that trip. This did go for my full asking price of $20. eBay was definitely the winner this week. This cabbie jacket I picked up at the bins. Same time I got that Rachel Zoe one, I believe. This was a lightweight, good transition coat, I think, for summer to fall. This did go for an offer of $48. Next up is this Idly Wind, I believe is how you pronounce it, by Miranda Lambert. I have had this dress for probably 2.5 years. I don't know why I've hung on to it for so long. It could be because every time I put it up, like relist it, it gets so many likes, so much attention, and no one will send me a decent offer. No one would accept any offers. So I did relist it probably for, I couldn't even tell you how many times, and someone did finally take an offer of $20. Super glad to see that go. Next up was a bundle. These were 2 Express shirts. They were part of the thing that I'm doing with the auctions. I bought these originally to go to Plato's Closet. They passed on them twice, so I threw them up on eBay. No one seemed to be interested in them at full price, so I did put both of them for $6.99 starting, and these did go for that. So both of them ended up going for $13.98. Next up is Liverpool. I normally do pretty well with their like career pants, I guess you could call them. They're normally really stretchy, have some sort of minimal design to them. So when I found this blazer, I thought I would give it a try. Comps looked promising. It also has that stretch material, very comfortable, size large. This did go for an offer of $30 and probably sold within 2 weeks. These True Religion shorts I found at the bins. I wasn't sure if someone had cut them or if they were like this originally. They looked, like good enough that they weren't like some crazy hack job or anything that I could list them. I did put cut off raw hem. These were a size 31 and these did go for an offer of $25. These definitely shocked me. These Calvin Klein performance pants, these came in that new company that I tried for like liquidation or whatever from Marshall's. I think it was Marshall's. These were like a convertible capri, so they did have like little drawstrings that you could, make the length a little bit shorter. I thought for sure these were going to sit forever and I'd have to send them to ThredUp, but they did sell and they did go for an offer of $24, probably within 2 weeks of listing. This dress I knew someone was going to buy just based on the style. SL Fashions, I think was the brand name. I believe that's from like the 90s, early 2000s. I did use a lot of keywords to sell this one. I titled it Vintage Black Witchy Stevie Nicks Goth Lace Alt Wednesday Maxi Pullover Dress. So that's kind of hitting everything that I could think of that kind of went with this. Wednesday Addams, if you're not familiar with the show that is filming right now, I believe that's supposed to be coming out the 2nd season shortly. That had a pretty big influence on fashion when it did come out. Stevie Nicks, obviously everybody knows who Stevie Nicks is. Anything witchy, lacy, kind of like a mixed print, flowy, anything like that, velvet, I would use that keyword for. I did check to see who was buying this because I was kind of curious to see if maybe they were a reseller or something themselves, but it did say that they were into costume design and reworking clothing, so I thought this would be perfect for them. I did have it originally listed at $50 just because I wasn't sure, where it was going to go. Like if it was going to sit forever, if maybe someone would purchase it for $50, but I was willing to take offers. So I did let it go for $30 just because I didn't, want to hang on to this forever, and $50 probably was overshooting a little bit. These Converse Hello Kitty collabs I got at Goodwill probably 3 weeks ago. I paid up a little bit for these. I'm guessing I had a coupon for it, so I think it was like $18. But normally anything Hello Kitty does very well. I did look up comps. They were a little bit all over the place, but I figured I would try it out. These did end up going for an offer of $50. This Cotopaxi, I think that's how you pronounce this. This also came in that vintage retro bale. This was probably one of the best pieces in there. This is a brand that is kind of geared towards unisex. It has both sizing on the tag. This did end up going for an offer of $30. It was a fun sale. I do really like picking up vintage swimwear as long as the elastic in the swimwear is still good. You want to make sure you stretch it. If you stretch it and you hear like that creaking or crinkling and it's not really doing much or it disintegrates, you know that obviously don't pick that up because it is damaged and there's no fixing that. This still did have tags on it. It was from the brand Sassafras. From what I see and what I sell, the brighter the colors or more vivid the colors, the swimsuit does better. This one was a size 7 and it did go for an offer of $32. These vintage 1999 Gap overalls picked up at Savers. I paid around $11 for these, but I had a pretty good idea that they would sell just because once again, they were hitting multiple different factors. They did have their date tag in there, so I knew it was 1990s. You know, vintage is great. It had that khaki preppy color, kind of a relaxed fit. And these were, I think, they were a medium, so a decent size. And these ended up going for my full asking price of $45 in probably 2 months. This Under Armour hat went really quick. It was new at tags, got this at Goodwill. All hats are $1.99 unless they are marked, more than that. This did go for an offer of $14. I did have it at $20, but I feel like $20, you're kind of getting into where you could buy this at TJ Maxx for around that. And you have to remember people are still paying shipping. So I was fine with this because this flipped, I think, within 2 days. This Tori Richard Honolulu dress was 100% silk. I've had this for at least a year. I did have it marked pretty high when I first had it. I think that was probably the problem. I did end up letting this go for an offer of $35 just because I've had it for so long. Next, these Eileen Fisher white jeans. These came in a Quick Lots box probably like last summer. Once again, Eileen Fisher, I just have a really hard time with. I don't know exactly why, but regardless, these did end up going for an offer of $28.50. And then the last item, this J. Jill, it was silk and linen blend button front vest in a size 2X. This one sold pretty quickly too, within a couple weeks, for an offer of $22. And then on Depop, I did have the one sale, this skirt. This was another one that I used keywords for. It was just the brand White Stag, but it did have that cool, plum color that people are looking for. I used keywords like grunge, boho, vintage. This ended up going for an offer of $24. So looking at the totals for the week on Poshmark, $278 for 12 items sold. Like I said, Poshmark just really has not been performing for me. Then on Mercari, $153 for 6 items sold. On eBay, $559.81 for 15 items sold. Lives, I did do one live show. I will talk about that in a little bit. Didn't get anything from that. And then Depop, the one sale for $24. So that makes my gross sales this week for $1,010.80. After all my fees are taken out and my average cost of goods, that leaves me with $672.48. So I did do a live show on Poshmark. Just really quick, you can see I do have the clothes here. I think I might have done it at a weird time. It was kind of like later morning, like 10 o'clock, I think, in the morning on a Tuesday. I don't know that that's the best time. Maybe evening might be better. I did a show. It was all new with tags, and then it was $8 starts, $8, $10, and $15 starts. Everything's new with tags. It's mixed sizes, different types of items. There's dresses, bottoms, tops. So I'm going to try that again this week. I do have some time to do that, so I'm going to do the lives a little bit more this week. Continue the same that I do every week with listing on all platforms. If I do have enough time, I think I will. I am going to put out a bonus video on Friday. If it's not Friday, it'll definitely be Saturday. I am going to go through kind of everything that I think is essential for my business or things that really work for me that I've bought off Amazon so that I can give you guys some links because Prime Day is coming up on Tuesday. Let me look here. 16, 17. So it'll be Tuesday and Wednesday of next week. So that's another thing that I like to do is keep things in my cart on Amazon. I will talk about this in that video. on things that I do use, because you never know when things are going on sale on Amazon. So you can always kind of check your cart and see if it has gone down in price. And especially for Prime Day, they could have some great deals on, different types of phone holders, lighting, cleaning supplies, bags, all of that. I will be going over everything that I use and have the links, like I said. So you guys can check that out if you'd like. And then for next week, Monday, I'm going to do a what's sold on ThredUp. I won't be doing those like weekly or anything. I thought maybe once a month. Seems to be a lot of interest on my channel for ThredUp videos. Those seem to be the most watched. I don't see many people that talk about what's sold on ThredUp, but I think there is some interest. So I'm just going to go over, what has been selling for me, what my payouts are, what potential payouts are on boxes that are sent in that people have not purchased yet, just so people kind of have an idea if they are looking at, kind of sourcing for ThredUp, or have some of their own items they want to send in and they get some sort of an idea of what their potential payouts could be. If you are new to the channel and any of those things sound interesting to you, please make sure to hit the subscribe button. And as always, if you enjoyed today's video, please make sure to give it a like. It really helps out the channel and I really appreciate it. I will see you guys on the next one. Bye!